The following rules will be used for the 5v5 basketball fall tournament. Game format. Each game will consist of two 20-minute halves with a 3-minute intermission between halves. The clock will run continuously until the last 2 minutes of the game, with the exception of timeouts. The clock will stop on all whistles during the last 2 minutes. Teams will be given a 10-minute grace period to have the required minimum number of players before the game is declared a no-show or default. The team will be dropped from further competition unless a $15 default fee is paid within 48 hours to the recreational sports office. See the intramural sports policies regarding no-shows and defaults. Each team has 2 timeouts and they can be used at any point throughout the game. Only players on the court may call a timeout. Overtime periods will be played for a single elimination tournament. Overtime procedures are as follows. Each team will be given a 1 minute between the end of the regulation and overtime periods. Teams will not change baskets. Each team receives 1 additional timeout. The overtime period will be 2 minutes in length with the clock stopping on all whistles. The overtime will begin with a jump ball. If a score is still tied at the end of the overtime period, a sudden death situation occurs. This period will also begin with a jump ball. Equipment. All players must wear clean, non-marking athletic shoes. The game ball will be provided. Teams should bring their own basketballs for warm-up or check out a ball from the towel room. No hats, bandanas, etc. are allowed during games. No jewelry is permitted. This includes watches, necklaces, bracelets, rings, earrings, etc. A technical foul will be assessed to each player found in violation. All teams are required to provide matching colored team shirts. Colors will be designated at the time of registration. All jerseys must have the number on the back. A height of the number must be no smaller than 6 inches. No 3-digit or half numbers are allowed. Numbers must not be affixed with tape, nor can numbers be written on skin. Players will not be allowed to participate without a numbered matching colored team shirt. Teams with dark colored jerseys must mark numbers in light colored writing. Alternating possessions. A jump ball will determine possession to begin the game. A jump ball will also be used to begin the first overtime period as well as the second overtime period. The ball will be put into play by alternate possession to begin the second half and for each held ball. If a period begins with a team being assessed a technical foul, the team that shot the free throws will also have a throw-in to start the period regardless of which team was designated to throw in. Free throws and fouls. All fouls in the act of shooting will be awarded free throws. Note, a player that is considered in the act of shooting until the ball is clearly in flight and after the player returns to the floor. Non-shooting fouls prior to the bonus will be administered by awarding the ball to the offended team at the designated spot nearest the fouls. A bonus free throw will be administered beginning with the 7th team foul of each half. Beginning with the 10th team foul of each half, 2 free throws will be administered for each foul. 3 free throws will be awarded for a foul against a player who attempts an unsuccessful 3-point try. Each intentional personal foul carries a 2-shot penalty plus possession of the ball for a throw-in at the designated spot nearest to where the foul occurred. Free throws and scoring. A player-controlled foul will result in a turnover, and any basket made will be disallowed regardless of when the ball was released. Players in position for a free throw may not cross into the lane until the ball hits the rim. The marked lane spaces closest to the end line will remain empty. Only 6 players will line up in the marked spaces of the lane to rebound a free throw. A player is disqualified upon his or her 5th foul. 4 personal fouls and 1 technical foul also constitute 5 fouls, or with a 2 technical fouls or any flagrant foul. Correct rules. Each field goal by a female will carry a bonus of 1 additional point. Free throws attempted for fouls will be in accordance with their point values. Example, males will shoot 2 or 3 shots for a field goal attempts and females will shoot 3 or 4 shots. In the case of a female being fouled in the bonus, they will shoot 1 and 1 on a bonus, a 1 plus 1 plus 1. They will not be given an extra free throw unless the second free throw is made. If they are fouled in the double bonus, they will shoot all 3. There will be no rules with requiring specific locations on the court or guarding principles for either males or females. The team will have the choice of a size of ball to use. If it cannot be agreed upon, a women's 28.5 ball will be used. Mercy Rule. The game will be terminated if a team is ahead by 50 or more points at any point during the second half, 30 points or more with 5 minutes remaining in the game, or 20 points or more with 2 minutes to go in the game. Dunking or hanging on the rim. Dunking is not allowed prior to the start of the game or during halftime. Grabbing the rim or hanging on the rim is not allowed at any time, unless you are protecting yourself. Violations will result in a technical foul. Any person hanging on and or grabbing the rim will be financially responsible for the damage that occurs as a result of such behavior. The dunking definition. The driving, forcing, pushing, or attempting to force a ball through the basketball with the hands. Whether the rim is touched does not matter. Safety and protests. Any player who is bleeding or has an open wound must leave the game until the wound is closed and the bleeding has stopped. The player may not re-enter without removing any equipment that has blood on it. Play will not continue until the blood has been removed from the playing surface. For protests, follow the protest procedures outlined in the intramural sports policies. Ejections. The supervisor will be called to the game site to handle all ejections. The game will not continue until the supervisor is beckoned and the ejected player is removed from the facility. The ejected individual must schedule an appointment to meet with the director of intramural sports before being allowed to play in any future contests. Conclusion. This concludes the intramural sports 5-on-5 basketball captains meeting. The captain's quiz, found on IM Leagues, must be completed with a score of 80% or higher before a team can be created. Feel free to contact the IM webmaster at imsports@recsports.wisc.edu with your questions or concerns. We wish you and your team the best of luck this season.